It's time to die. 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Come in if you dare.
All right, I'm gonna let Jesus
I'm ready.
throw on the intro here.
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing?
Hello.
I was told to conserve my personality for the show, so I'm just sleeper cell agent awakening. I haven't done anything. I've just been waiting. I've been sitting in this chair all day, in a state of sleep, preparing for this.
Same here.
Same here.
I've been my cryogenic pod.
That's the way to do it.
I can confirm we room together.
Well, hi everyone. Cole,
Well-
you haven't said anything. Go say stuff.
Okay. Welcome.
Talk.
Welcome to the Writers Room.
There we go.
We are here. We are ready. We have some people that aren't usually around. Yes, usually. They've never been around here before.
First
What are you
time.
talking about? This is the writer's room with Braydan and Cole and Ben and Jerónimo. It's always been that way.
That's crazy.
And that's crazy. Guys, introduce yourself. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello, my name is Jerónimo.
Hi, my name is Ben. And I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, as am I.
You know,
Okay.
I enjoy this new retcon.
We've always been here the entire time.
So
Like game changers.
I
I've been here the whole time.
all right. And we're gonna cut this portion out right here, but there is a bit of double audio that might be a problem. So let's see. I don't know if I can do anything about that.
What did?
Is it something on our end?
Yeah, it might
No idea.
be. It's not you. It's I believe it. Let's see.
It's Ben.
Yeah, I believe it's
What?
Ben.
Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do anything about that. We might just have to be okay with it.
Well, let's try something. If Ben mutes himself in his computer but he speaks, can you still hear him through my microphone?
Let's see.
Let's see.
Hello. How's everybody doing?
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly it.
Oh, that's amazing. Okay.
Okay, there we go.
Okay.
Are we gonna redo that? Cole, do you want me to redo that entire introduction bit?
Nah, I think honestly it might even be funnier to keep the whole thing if you guys are okay with it. Just to have the hey, I'm
It's
in
your
here. But yeah, no, let's keep going. Let's go into some background. Whoever wants to go first, what do you guys kind of what's like your industry and like your specific role in that industry?
Talk about yourself.
Okay. I guess I'll go first. So I'm a filmmaker, but I'm mostly an editor. I've been focusing on that for the past couple years. I'm Avid certified, so that's pretty cool. I've been practicing Avid, Premiere, DaVinci, all like the main editing stuff. But I'm also a writer and occasionally a director. My previous project, Tiny Mite, is coming out soon. Yeah, pretty much.
It's pretty good if I say so myself.
That's
If
a
he says-
certified
There we go.
seal of approval from Ben.
Yes, dude.
Just like a little icon.
We'll make an
Alright.
emoji in our comments section. But yes, okay.
That would be really funny.
That would be yeah. All right.
Ben, tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, my name's Ben. I'm a producer and a writer. So perfect for this. I filmed with Jerónimo on Tiny Mite. I was the producer for that. And I was a special guest role on the film.
Yes, he has a cameo appearance as a character that we will not mention here, so that you watch the movie and find out for yourself.
Absolutely. Yes. So exciting.
Yeah.
So exciting.
I'm hearing a lot about this. What did you say? What'd you call it? Tiny Mite? I'm hearing
Tiny
a lot
Mite.
about this short film, and I don't know about you guys, but I want to learn more. This is not an episode purely designed to promote Tiny Mite at all. So this is the first I am hearing of two of my friends' project. This is crazy. This is the first I've heard of it. Tell me more about it, please. I want to know.
Absolutely.
No,
So-
cool. It's selling. They're buying it. Tell me more about this project.
Oh gosh. Okay, so basically, Tiny Mite is a superhero inspired by like 1960s era television. The whole gimmick is that it's supposed to be a hero, like a character that was being published as comic books in that time period of like the golden age of comics, where there were so many other superheroes other than just Marvel and DC, but they've like faded into obscurity. And so our film opens with a mysterious man finding like the Tiny Mite VHS tape, and it has one of the episodes and it's been lost to time. And so he watches it, and the film plays as if it was that episode of the original Tiny Mite TV show from back in the day.
Nice. That's so fun.
Cool and fun.
Yeah. The 60s, was that I think that was like the silver age of comics.
Oh, the Silver Age. Yeah, that's right. That's my mistake.
You know, no, I was just like, but I'm just like,
No.
that is such a
nerd over
fun.
Attack him in the comments.
Oh no, please no. That was my mistake.
Everyone in the comments say how Cole is such a nerd and is lame. Okay.
But no, I'm
continue,
just
Clyde.
like I'm just like fascinated by that, and it's just like to tap into. I don't know. I look at the older eras of comic books, and I'm just like they're almost like intentionally a little goofy. So I'm curious. Did you like play into like that whole look and just like, oh, they're wearing these kind of almost ridiculous bright colored suits, but they're also like really like taking themselves very seriously. Like, how did you kind of come about, creating something like that for this story?
Well, we definitely knew we wanted to make a comedy of some kind. So we really leaned into the spoof and the satirical aspects of it all. Obviously, like you said, it's very comedic. It's very funny, and it's
And silly.
looking back kind of a way. So we just leaned into it more. We added more jokes. I think something comparable as of recently, as far as goofs and gaffs and spoofing, has to be the Naked Gun movie. Very similar in tone.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. It's very
Yeah, and then like production design wise, oh, sorry, you go ahead.
No, you're good. Continue, please.
Like production design wise, we took inspiration from like the classic Batman Adam West show. So like the suit isn't it's supposed to be like spandex, but it's baggy. It's like very loose, and the character has like a weird stance. Like it's not as serious as superheroes are a bit more today. It's more of that like very goofy, very silly, campy superhero.
Yeah. I mean, you guys picked probably the best era, because like you just said, today's superheroes are taken very seriously, and it's just like it's to a degree where it's just like you look at Batman and you're just like, oh, he's cool as fuck. Like, but like you go back to the 60s and it's just like
He was dancing with Egyptians like this.
yeah, he
The
was.
Bat 2 speed.
Let me get my bat shark repellent.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
So I know we'll get into the writing questions on the writing themed show in a bit, but one of the questions that I would like to ask is casting for a project like this, especially in the lead role of Tiny Mite. This is such a very specific era, very specific kind of humor. especially with how you're presenting the main character, as he stands weird. He's got this really ridiculous costume, and like, what were the things that you were looking for in like an actor to kind of embody this specific character?
Yeah. Well, we were mainly looking for, so our character Tiny Mite, he has like obviously the alter ego, and his real personality is Tony Mite. And as Tony Mite, he's like a Clark Kent character, like very awkward, very quirky. And then when he turns into Tiny Mite, he's more like Spider-Man. He's like quippy and very like full of himself. And so when we were looking for actors, we asked them to do like a self-tape of reading a line as Tiny Mite and then as Tony Mite, like doing that personality switch. And we were looking for someone that could deliver both of those like personalities, like one very, very awkward, like, oh, hello guys, it's me, Tiny Mite. And then it's like, oh, hey, it's Tiny Mite, you're gonna save the day kind of thing.
That's so cool. That's awesome.
It's very, time out for a second. Guys, I don't know if y'all have heard, but there's this really cool short film coming out called Tiny Mite. When's it hitting YouTube, guys? When can
it is coming out on the 24th of October on YouTube, on the Tiny Mite YouTube channel.
Mark your goddamn calendars, folks.
Yep. And when it releases,
the release of Tiny Mite.
When it releases, we'll add it to our description.
Absolutely. And if you don't, I will kill your firstborn. So, moving on to the next question.
That may not be threatening enough. I don't think our fans have a lot of firstborns.
No, very biblical of you. Very biblical.
Yeah, we're thinking way down the line. This is 5G chess.
Oh,
you know?
yeah. We'll ruin their lives later.
Yeah. Yeah. We're setting up for the long game.
So,
100%.
Would you say, though, I mean, you're casting this very specific kind of role, but a lot of your actor is covered up in the costume. So would you say that you guys focus more on like how he looks out of costume before words are hard. Focus more on him out of costume and focusing on the ability to kind of act around two different roles than maybe him having like the superhero look in the costume?
I guess.
More or less.
Yeah.
I think in the end of at the end of the day, we ran into some issues with the costume itself. So when we were casting, we were really having to base it off the original Tony Mite costume. We didn't have the Tiny Mite costume because I'm not going to name drop, but our costume designer dropped out. So we, and by we, I really mean Jerónimo
and Carlos.
And our friend Carlos, came together last minute. I'm talking hours before, put the costume together, and it came out so well, I could not ask for anything better.
Yeah. We barely had enough time to do like a test fitting, like the day or so before we were actually going to shoot the movie. So it was like a very like final minute costume completion thing.
Wow, that's crazy.
What an inspirational story.
I think we still have the mask, don't we?
We have it. It's just in the other room.
Oh, you have to pull it out.
I can go get it.
You have to pull it out.
Yeah.
Right. Hold on. I'll be right back.
Yes.
A musical interlude.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, oh my gosh. Braydan, you are frozen, by the way.
Shut up. Okay. This is the breakbeat portion of the video. And what happened? Where did my camera go?
Yeah, your camera's gone.
Your camera's gone.
Yeah, you're not even frozen anymore. It was fine when you were frozen, but now it's just...
I've been banished to the alternate dimension.
The Phantom Zone.
Utility realm.
The Phantom Zone.
Phantom Zone.
Oh.
I knew Braydan was not a good person. He ended up in the Phantom Zone.
This is punishment.
for the crimes of not really finishing your feature script.
Whoa. Okay, we're back.
Okay, I'm almost done with the mask. It's a bit tricky to get on, but I think I got it. Looks good. Awesome.
Yes! Oh my gosh.
That's amazing.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So this is the Tiny Mite mask, right? The orange mask of it kooky. We had a bit of trouble making the eyes, but yeah, this is a preview of what the costume looked like in the movie.
Dude, I love that. I actually love it when like a costume has like those quirks where it looks almost slightly homemade, because it's just like, oh, that's the character's personality going into that. So that's just so much fun. That's so cool. Oh my gosh.
I'm such a big fan of, on a general note, of people just making movies. Don't be afraid to just like do things, and even if something big like your costume designer backing out at the last possible minute comes up, you know, this is something that we all love to do, that you're passionate about. You got to just continue push forward, and then you come up with something as awesome as this mask, and we cut to Jerónimo wearing the mask. It's really cool. It's really fun. I love it. Okay, so since this is the writer's room, so I guess I am obliged to ask some amount of writing-themed questions, or else the lawyers come in and we get hit with a hefty suit, a hefty fee for not mentioning writing. So
Our own lawyers sue us.
Our lawyers will sue.
Okay.
You've been served.
Yeah, but it's our lawyers.
Wait. Hold on. Wait, no, stay right there.
Where are you going?
It's the lawyer.
Oh no.
They caught us.
Oh no, bro.
Guys, they got us. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
Okay, we're good. My grandma, before recording this episode, was like, I really just want to get a photo of you doing the show.
Aww.
Look over there and the camera's just peeking out like a shark fin. I didn't know my grandma was Ted Bundy, but it's fine, guys. I still love her. Anyways,
That is a crazy leap. Anyway, what's your writer question?
we'll start general. You're doing a central, and I'm gonna tie it back into what we're working on the writer's room. Your protagonist, you're writing basically a dual protagonist, a dual character, because not only he has an alter ego, you're writing the Tiny Mite, regular business person or regular guy by day, and Tiny Mite, this quippy, very like satirical persona of a superhero by night. Like what was in the writing process before you even got to the script? Like what were some of the parameters that y'all set up? Like this is what Tony has to be like, this is what Tiny Mite has to be like, and how do they kind of like clash together, much in the same way of how we're doing our protagonist in our feature film. But please enlighten us.
Well, since the very beginning, when Ben and I started talking about the script, we wanted to make it so that Tiny Mite is very much a caricature of like the typical superhero alter ego, like your Peter Parker, your Clark Kent. These people are very awkward. They're nerds. Like they're bumbling through their everyday life. But then once they get into costume and they become superheroes, they're the exact opposite personality. So since from the very beginning, that's what we wanted our character to look like. So it would feel very much like, oh yeah, this is like the typical superhero that would come out around this time when all of the other superheroes are like being written for the first time. At the beginning, most of them started out like very similar in a lot of ways. So Tiny Mite borrowed a lot from all of these characters to have like that split personality.
Yeah, and I think that's a big part of it. You see, you look at this and you find these characters who can only describe themselves as, you know, the mild mannered or the weak. but they actually have this inner heroism. And so the only way they can express that is through costume vigilantism.
Of course.
Wearing a mask.
Gotta hide behind the mask. Yeah. And it's great that y'all have really clearly defined inspirations to pull from when you're writing a character like this. Like, oh, Peter Parker, I'm going to point to him. Clark Kent, I'm going to point to him. Superman, Spider-Man. Like, it's always really good to start off with a really strong way to be like, hey, this is our North Star. Let's make sure that we kind of not only kind of follow that path set before us that's clearly established and work very well, but also doing our thing, putting our own spin on it, putting our own voice to make it something unique and fun for everyone to enjoy. That's really nice. That's really enjoyable. That's a good lesson to learn out there, folks.
Yeah.
I love silence.
No, you got this. No, guys, he's cooking. The engines are running. I'm seeing the steam. He's gonna come out with a banger question.
It's been a while since I've been interviewer, so I'm just,
Excuses.
Yes, and I'm stalling because I'm still thinking of a question. I don't know. It's a simple question. What would be well, let's do both ends of this spectrum. What would be your favorite and least favorite part in terms of designing this kind of idea, in terms of like
that's a good one. And he lands it.
I mean, yeah, just in general, I guess.
7 out of 10 question.
We're getting reviewed now.
I don't know about Jerónimo, but I know for me that my least favorite going into this as a producer was going to be the set design. I knew that was going to take the most amount of effort, and so much so that I actually had to help out. We did it in my, what would you call that? Just a parking lot?
Yeah, outside his apartment building.
Yeah, we were spray painting, we were building, cutting styrofoam, we were doing all kinds of stuff just to make it look like it had been made in old Hollywood. And so you look at that and it's like, wow, it's really great. Meanwhile, me and the set designer, our hands are covered in paint and our backs ache from hunching over.
Yeah. That's a fair answer, honestly. For me, it was more in... Our idea was to make for the film to feel episodic, but it also has to be a self-contained short film. So finding the balance between it's episodic, but it's self-contained was a bit of a tricky middle ground to find, especially in the writing. It came across better as the script was developed and then we shot the movie, and then in the edit it felt a bit clearer. But that was I think my least favorite part, having to figure that middle ground between those two.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Absolutely.
So with that in mind, how you're trying to navigate this episodic feel and aesthetic so that we could imagine this is a part of a larger series, and also making it feel like a solid adventure on its own. And the superhero genre in itself is such a big 3-act structure that it feels that's a hard thing to condense even for a short film. What were y'all thinking about in writing the plot structure? Okay, we got to imagine this guy goes on a bajillion huge adventures and he's doing all these things, but we need to tell a really, really concise story that could fit in 10, 15 minutes. Where were y'all's heads at?
Mostly jokes.
Yeah.
Mostly jokes. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember Jerónimo coming up to me with the initial concept of Tiny Mite, coming from an inside joke with him and his old roommates. And I thought it was just so funny as an outside observer that I was like, we gotta make this. This is so funny. So we literally sat down the next day and just started coming up with jokes in a beat sheet and was like, oh, we should do this. Oh, we should have this. A bank robber, that kind of stuff. Union fees, that kind of thing. Just having fun with it. And from there, I think we kind of both knew that it was like, this is joke forward, and we wanted to base the characters around the jokes.
Yeah, in a way. Another thing that helped structure-wise is this type of superhero, they go on like the adventure of the week, right? And they usually fight the villain of the week. Sometimes they return, sometimes they're like a one-off thing. But for our episode, we were like, okay, there has to be like a general structure that repeats itself through all of these Tiny Mite episodes. And we had different concepts of different villains, and they were all very goofy. Usually their powers only revolve around stopping Tiny Mite. But the favorite one was always Mole Muncher. He's the villain of the short. And his gimmick is that he's like a mole man that can't really see well in bright spaces, and his hands are like mole feelers. So he just looks for Tiny Mite on the floor because Tiny Mite can shrink. So he looks for him on the floor, and we're like, okay, so we're going with Mole Muncher as the villain. We have Tiny Mite. We have a couple jokes. How can we have Mole Muncher do like an evil villain of the week type thing that Tiny Mite has to stop, and how can we tie like the normal life of Tiny Mite into this villain arc? Then like how can we bring all of that together in a coherent short film episode thing?
Nice.
And jokes.
That's a great way to think about it. Yeah, I think y'all really cracked the formula in just the one special. So that leads me to ask, potentially in the future, are there any plans to do more Tiny Mite stuff? I think
we have a couple of ideas of different directions we could take Tiny Mite with. Nothing has been set in stone as of yet. There's ideas for a direct sequel, like another episode of this same show. There's ideas of like, okay, this is a 60s episode. What would a 90s episode of Tiny Mite look like? Or what would a early 2000s episode of Tiny Mite look like? Or using one of these tropes that get repeated over and over, or like Tiny Mite has to fight like the evil version of Tiny Mite. There's a lot of ideas that we're bouncing around, but as of now, there's no direct plans of making another Tiny Mite.
So you know what to do, folks here at home. Go blow up Tiny Mite so that they will be forced to do nothing else in their careers except make more Tiny Mite content. I would love nothing more. And it is to make them regret ever creating this so that they can never escape. That's what I want y'all to go do so that they can be enslaved by their own creation. That's my hope for you guys, is that you feel the burden of artistic creation and that you will wish that you never did anything. So go out there and go watch Tiny Mite.
That's crazy.
And that's about the blowing of a call to action that you could ever get.
So
I feel like, Braydan, you're setting this up so high. You're putting us on this pedestal that we can only go down.
There's nothing that I do better than blowing smoke up people's ass. You know, I'm certified. I know that game. So go.
So much smoke, I'm seeing smoke signals.
That's crazy, dude. That's crazy. It happens on the show. That's just it's just the way it is.
I turn my brain off and I just start saying stuff. I don't even know what I say right there. But
so did you guys kind of immediately like fall in love with Tiny Mite, or were there like several iterations where you were experimenting with different like ideas for who our protagonists would be here? Maybe different powers, different personalities. What was kind of the process of that?
I feel like by the time I approached Ben with the idea of Tiny Mite, the concept was kind of set enough. I don't think we deviated too much from the original concept. We just fleshed it out more. The original Tiny Mite, it was just like the name Tiny Mite as a superhero, because it was just a joke that started off between, I think Ben mentioned it, me and my old roommates. And it was just a joke, and we were like, how hard could we sell this? Just like if we were talking to other people and we're like, oh yeah, Tiny Mite's my favorite superhero, and like how long could we keep this going before they realized this isn't a thing? But then like the more we started doing it, the more like it kept developing until it got to the point where I pitched it to Ben like, oh yeah, we've had this idea of Tiny Mite, and like, wait a minute, we should actually make a film about Tiny Mite. It would be really fun.
That's awesome.
So basically, Tiny Mite just started as an extended improv bit. That's amazing.
Essentially.
The more you know, the more you know.
Dude, that's how those things start, though. It starts super small, and then it just becomes this crazy thing.
Yeah, that's how all those SNL movies got made.
That's right.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Anybody else remember
My
Who's That?
favorite film?
Oh, Lord. Okay, well, so I mean, based on some of what we've already heard, you guys spent months just preparing for this.
Yeah.
How long would you say that the actual shoot was?
Like,
3 days.
yeah, it took us
3 days?
2 days.
2
It was
days.
a 2-day shoot.
Wow.
Okay.
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
It felt like it was 3 or 4 days, but it was really 2 days. And all of our months of preparation were like, okay, our shoot schedule is very tight, so we have to make sure that we have enough time
Oh, yeah.
to shoot all of this stuff. And there were hiccups along the road, but not surprisingly, because we did a really good job. But we managed to pull through most of those issues without an issue, essentially.
Yeah. I've done films where I'm just like, I've done so much prep, then to actually kind of get on set, it's just like, it's almost a relief, because it's like, oh, we're actually going to get this done. Did you have a similar kind of feeling with that, where it's just like,
on this show.
you're getting this done, or is it more just like, oh my gosh, we have so much more to do, so much could still go wrong, and it's just, more stressful than the prep?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it was more stressful, but it certainly felt like our preparation was like preparing for the battle, and then the shoot was the battle. So we were very prepared, but we were ready to face whatever challenges were thrown our way, in the literal sense.
Yeah, I mean, that really is the case for a lot of short films. It's usually a lot more prep and a lot more post than it ever is actual shooting. But I definitely think that it's like the battle analogy really works, because we did all this prep. We tried so hard. We ran into some landmines, and then we kept on going. And then when we finally got to the actual battlefield, it was still going. It's like, I didn't rest.
Yeah.
I didn't rest. I got a stomach ulcer. It's like,
Jeez.
Yeah.
like things happen, and you can't just stop. You have to keep going.
Yep. That's right.
And I'm glad we did, because it's like, this could have been stuck in post-production hell forever, but we kept on going, like it was just something that we, at least me and Jerónimo, we were really passionate about, and we wanted to see out there in the world,
That's a good point. You bring up the post-production. Jerónimo, as an editor, what was the post-production process for this? What did this film look like when you're... Well, I see Ben laughing, so I imagine there's some funny stories there. Were there any big hiccups that came up that you were like, we have to fix this in post? Or was that the easiest part of the journey?
So going into this project, I wanted to be, well, I was the writer, but I wanted to be solely the director, because for most of my projects, I end up being the editor, and I wanted to just focus on directing for this project. So I brought in another editor, but as I was shooting the film, I kept in mind, this is going to be edited. How is this going to look like in post? Right. And I feel like not a lot of people do that. And we should keep the post in mind, because at the end of the day, that's where the film is going to be made. So once the film was completely shot, we didn't really have a lot of problems with the first passes of the edit. It was mostly like the coordination and giving like the feedback with the editor, and doing like a lot of review sessions, having her cut the film, and then us looking at the film and being like, yeah, I like this. I think this scene should be shorter, or there's a missing line here or there. But then once we had like the first picture lock and we started doing the VFX, that's when it started to get tricky, because it's not very VFX heavy, and we didn't want it to look too clean, because obviously the VFX back then would be what stuff they could edit on tape. And if we do too much VFX, like it would look like digital VFX in a sense. So finding that balance in post might have been the trickiest thing. And then consolidating the project. When we had a premiere screening for the cast and crew on a set date, and we finished editing, like conforming the project with all the VFX the day of the screening, and that like those couple hours, me and Carlos were like just chugging the edit, trying to like passing the edit back and forth between two computers that had like the actual edit and then all the VFX back and forth until we got it done and it looked really well.
Wow. Those crunch things, yeah. Those crunch times.
You try to avoid them, but they're always there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
That's true. Yeah, no, post was something. Because, it's very much one of those things where you look at it and it's like, oh, yeah, you can do it in post. But as a producer, I know that's patently untrue. You have to stay on top of that. And so I think, and this wasn't anybody's fault, but like there was a good 2 weeks after filming where no communication happened. And so I was like, oh crap, we gotta get on this. And so I started texting Jerónimo and I was like, how are we with the edit? Where are we with the edit? Let's try to figure this out. And so we got our gears rolling again with our post-production team, and we started doing ADR sessions, and we started doing visual effects, and like you said, a bunch of different passes. A matter of fact, I think there was one visual effect whenever we were first doing the shrinking of Tiny Mite. My initial note was, this looks like it was done in After Effects.
Which
that was the one thing. I was like, this is too modern. Make it less modern. Which I think is the first time any producer has ever said that.
It's too clean. This effect is too good. Make it not good.
That's funny. That's great.
And
this looks like you put a lot of work into it. Don't do that.
But yeah, and at the end of the day, it was one of those notes that's like the kill your darlings thing, where even though you put a lot of work into this, sometimes even something that you dedicate a lot of time into isn't always the thing that works best for a project. And essentially degrading that effect into what is in the movie made it look so much better because it matches the style a lot more than what it looked like before.
Absolutely. The fans of this show have been Pavlov trained to know about killing babies. We call it killing babies over here. Which actually leads me to, don't laugh, Cole, don't laugh. Which actually leads me into my next question. As the kind of creator of this world and all these characters and all these details, and having to build a crew around to help sell the vision, like were there any big babies or darlings that you had to kind of brutally murder in the middle of the night in order to continue forward? Or was it just like everyone is on the same page all the time and it's awesome, party time, rainbows everywhere?
I think it might have been mostly on the production design department. Well, we also had originally Mole Muncher's lair. Whenever Tiny Mite arrives there, it was full of like the typical goons. They were all dressed up in like matching uniforms, and they would all be like wearing like mole themed costumes. And then we realized, but for this we have to have at the very least 3 extra actors and costumes for them. And we were already struggling to get the costumes for the main cast, so we had to cut out the side, like those extra characters. But then during the whole production of the production design, that we had to simplify a lot of things because of time and resources. Ben mentioned it, but we had really big problems with the costume designer, and so I feel like what the costume could have looked like if we had the extra time of, oh, we have a costume designer, we don't have to worry about it. Then, oh, we don't have a costume designer, we have to essentially rush this because there's no more time. Like those type of things like do add up. But so long as you like land them properly, the audience won't notice unless they listen to the podcast and they hear us talking about it.
Yeah, so don't do that, I guess.
Yeah, too late for that. I guess.
Yeah,
Just
everyone,
blur everything.
don't listen to the show. Don't go check out the Writers Room.
Yeah.
It's not worth your time. I guess.
This episode is redacted.
It's redacted, all of it.
It's one big long censor beep, and that's it.
But yeah, that's definitely one, because we had to really just think about it in a space of like, this is a short film, and on top of that, a student short film. So the budget is whatever it's going to be. And once we all kind of knew that, we put our expectations into that. Now, that is to say, our production designer was fantastic. They did all the designing, and they did a lot of the building themselves. I helped out with some of the building, but they were truly the hero of this. They did such a good job that I really just didn't care what it cost, because I was like, I know you know what is the cheapest and what is the best. So just let me have the receipts and be on your way.
Mhm.
And ever since then, I've worked with them a few times after. And, it's the same kind of relationship. It's just like, I know what you can do. I know you're the best at what you can do. Just let me in on the secrets from time to time.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that balance of communication. So it's hard to find that line sometimes, but it does need to be there for sure. Otherwise, you'll have a costume issue or something. But
Oh yeah, like anyone would have that. Find
yeah,
people you trust and never let them go. That's the real key here.
yeah.
Shout out to the Tiny Mite production designer. We love you, I guess.
Yeah. Oh Lord.
Do you want to ask something?
So you guys pulled from comic books. We've named Adam West's Batman. In terms of the like overall look of the film, you more than likely had to pick one visually. Would you say it's more comic book visuals, or would you consider it to be more like the Adam West, like just 60s TV show kind of style visuals?
TV show. We bounced around a few ideas at the beginning, where it was like there was a mockumentary that we could have done, but I think me and Jerónimo both agreed that like the parody of the 60s television is relatively a unique thing. We don't see a lot of that, and so if we did it, we'd be the ones fulfilling that for whatever potential audience we have.
Yeah,
And I think it was the right choice.
I would agree with that. Yeah. It would be.
There's always so many mockumentaries out there.
Yeah.
I think The Office just got like a sequel or something. And it's
yeah, that's
very
true.
bad.
It's true, yeah.
Yeah.
The I don't know what it's called, but
The paper.
the paper, it exists out there. That is definitely an oversaturated market these days. Which is fun how it's like something that seems so like brave creatively. It's like, we're gonna do this, and then one thing does it and makes it big, and everyone wants to do the same thing. Where they're literally making shows within the same universe instead of doing something completely different. That's an interesting thing.
Hey, maybe after Tiny Mite, everyone's going to be making 60s TV parody shows.
There we go, because
There we go.
everyone's gonna go below again. Everyone's gonna go right now or whenever it's available to check out Tiny Mite when it comes on YouTube, or I will beat you to a bloody pulp.
That's a better threat.
Actually, no, that might be a little too far. I did say in the previous episode that violence.
You wanted to kill children first.
So
What are you?
Yeah, no. Well, On the writers' room, we kill children,
Yeah.
but we don't beat people up.
No.
But we don't condone some types of violence.
It's a clear distinction, guys.
There's a line in the sand.
Yeah.
We do
Really
not cross it.
can't wait for when I sit down at a job interview and they just pull up the YouTube compilation. Braydan talks about killing babies for an hour, and they ask me to explain that.
Excuse me, it says here you're a baby killer?
Well, listen. If you have heard the whole episode, by the way, check out the writers' room. I plug the show. It's like
You plugged the show in the job interview.
I watched the whole context, and maybe you'll agree with me, right?
It's all a networking opportunity.
Oh my gosh.
I wanted to ask probably one of the I want to go through this very typical comic book interview mode, because this is the first time that we've interviewed for a comic book movie, and so I want to do all the expected things. So we're gonna go and we're gonna see if Tiny Mite could beat these other characters in a one-on-one combat fight.
This is fun.
I want to go down the gauntlet, and I want to see. Let's put to the test how powerful of a character and fighter Tiny Mite is. So, let's see. Cole, who do you think the first one to step into the ring? Who's the first hero or villain?
Well, let's start kind of with the basics. Batman doesn't have powers.
Let's start easy. Start Batman.
Batman.
Well, yeah, with enough prep time, Batman beats anyone.
Well, no prep time. There's no prep time. There's no
Batman
prep
beats
time.
anyone.
Cole, I asked you to start with something small, and you picked Batman.
Dude, he's just a guy that fights. He's a guy who knows martial arts.
Although
I'm gonna redact you.
Adam West Batman would probably have a hard time against Tiny Mite.
Okay, there we go.
Okay, there we go. Tiny Mite.
I love Tiny Mite,
Adam
but
West.
Batman wins.
That's fair.
Even Adam West Batman beats Tiny Mite.
Oh yeah, he just has to pull out some Tiny Mite repellent.
He would have that in his utility
Probably.
belt. That's true.
All right.
Let's see. You did say that part of Tiny Mite's abilities is that he can shrink down and grow back in size. So let's put him up against a similar hero with a similar power set, Ant-Man. Who would win a fight, Ant-Man or Tiny Mite?
Tiny Mite will wipe the floor with Ant-Man. So I was like, basically, Tiny Mite's power set includes shrinking down to the size of a mite, which I guess is technically smaller than an ant, but he gets the power of an exponential amount of mites, usually 6,000, but that number can increase to by the power of 10 to 6. So 6,000, 6 million, 6 billion, etc. And depending on how many mites he channels, he can deliver stronger attacks. That's a thing that's in the movie. But essentially, he has super strength, and Ant-Man usually doesn't. So I'll give it to Tiny Mite.
All right, you heard it. You heard it here. Paul Rudd, he's coming to steal your fucking lunch money. Okay, Tiny Mite he's running the gamut all over your ass. Let's see. Cole
what about well, Ant-Man did fight Iron Man in that Civil War movie. Do you think that Tiny Mite could maybe do better than Ant-Man did then?
Tony Mite versus Tony Stark.
In a battle of IQ, no doubt Iron Man wins.
Yeah.
Okay.
But in a battle of skill, Tiny Mite wins that battle.
Yeah.
Tiny Mite just has to go tiny, get in there, and just start wrecking havoc. By in there, I don't mean the Iron Man seat.
Okay.
So like a Thanos type situation.
Yeah. Would Tiny Mite have the balls to do the Thanos plan?
I think so.
Okay, so he should have been on the event.
You do it for the laughs.
You do it for the laughs. Look, guys, this is gonna be really funny. Okay.
I gotta ask the writer, if we were to write that scene where Tiny Mite goes up Thanos' ass right before he goes big and explodes all over his intestines, what's the quippy one-liner he says before hitting the grow button? You gotta on the spot write a banger line. We'll go around the room.
then no, you didn't.
I was thinking he would just go with his usual catchphrase. I don't know if it would apply to the situation, but I don't know if he's a guy that has a lot of catchphrases.
What's
Like
his
he usually goes just a little, and I think he would say that.
All right, Cole. I want to hear what will you have Tiny Mite say in
Just a
that
little.
situation?
Just a little, so great though.
Can't beat the classics, I guess.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh. Dude, I don't know. What would you put?
What would I have him say?
Yeah.
Don't worry, buddy. Reschedule your colonoscopy, and then
Yeah. What entered my mind was these logs got nothing on me. Just
that's pretty good.
All of these work.
Okay, so he's beaten some. He's got Thanos' number. He can beat Iron Man. He can beat Ant-Man. I want to know, could he beat Superman?
I feel only if Tiny Mite was able to channel the power of 6 trillion mites.
He'd have to
But
do
I feel
that.
like that's already a very hard thing to do. So I would say Superman would probably have an easier time against Tiny Mite.
Yeah, I do think that Tiny Mite, at his absolute peak, could stand with Superman for a few bouts.
Okay.
But Superman with pink kryptonite? Maybe not. Maybe
Okay.
Or just with any type of kryptonite, probably.
What is Tony Mite's occupation? Like, what does he do for a living?
He works at Business Corp.
Tiny Co.
He works at a business. Okay, he's a businessman.
Yes.
So
He works at the company Tiny Co. In the city of Tinytopolis.
got it. All right.
Tiny top.
So who would? Okay, we've done all these like physical battles, and we kind of get a grasp of Tiny Mite's physical prowess. Who would be better at writing a 401k without getting audited by the IRS? Tony Mite, or we'll start him off easy, maybe like Clark Kent.
I am honestly not sure Tiny Mite wins this battle. Well, Tony Mite. It is a line in the movie that he's not sure if he'll be able to do his taxes. So
Ooh, that's
I don't think Tony Mite makes it in this matchup.
Start. Okay, so Clark Kent's got the taxes on his side.
Oh man. I mean, if we're starting there, I mean, yeah.
So he's kind of failing that battle. Who would be? I'm just gonna keep going. Who would be more likely to successfully complete a grocery run to Kroger across town? Tony Mite or Barry Allen with a broken fibia?
Barry Allen.
Probably.
Still Barry
You can
Allen.
shrink all you want, but you ain't getting to that Kroger faster.
I feel like even if Tiny Mite managed to get to the supermarket fast enough, Tony would be too indecisive.
Yeah.
So Tony likes his rainbow goldfish, and if they don't have it, he's just incapacitated. I see.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah. I imagine it's like that scene from The Simpsons where Mr. Burns is looking at ketchup and catsup and cannot make up his mind.
Right. Yeah. That's his kryptonite. That's Tony's kryptonite.
Indecision.
Indecision.
He has choice paralysis.
Choice.
Right.
For
Okay. Got it.
Oh man. Would you say that maybe his indecisiveness is his biggest like character flaw in his story, or is there something more there in terms of personality?
Well, I think in the movie, arguably his biggest character flaw, and the flaw that causes him to get trapped, is his confidence, his overconfidence, I should say. But I do think if we had enough time or enough resources, to continue the story, maybe even make it longer, I think that probably would be one. Because at the top of the movie, Tiny Mite gets asked out on a date. And he just is like...
He chickens out.
Business. And he doesn't get the date. He fumbles it so hard.
Okay, so if this character's fatal flaw is either his indecision or overconfidence, and his like superhero biggest strength is that he can channel the strength of an infinite or an exponential number of mites, what would his like best character strength be? Like what is in his personality that makes us as an audience be like, go Tiny Mite, I'm rooting for you because...
I'd say it's his courage. He's just one of those people that is fearless in the face of danger. Like in the movie when he has to don the Tiny Mite costume to save the day, as soon as he sees there's danger, he does not hesitate. He goes straight at it. So he's one of those heroes where whatever the danger is, he's there to protect whoever needs protecting.
That's awesome.
That's a guy I can get behind, that's for sure.
Where would you say his overconfidence comes from? Is it the idea of hiding behind a mask?
I would like to think so. I mean, I think anybody who fights crime with a mask kind of, in a way, disassociates a little bit. Even if
Just a little.
Just
Yeah,
a little.
He's the thing.
But I think that's just kind of true. You know, it's like, it's not to get too serious here, but like it's the same kind of thing why people online feel like they can cyberbully people, because there's a disconnect. And I think it's the same way when fighting mass crime. You know, there is a disconnect. You are not Tiny Mite. You are Tiny Mite.
Yes. And you can even see it in the movie, because when Tiny Mite has a conversation with his love interest, he's not it. He doesn't have anything. But then when he's in Tiny Mite and has a conversation with her again, he's very sure of himself. He like has no nerves behind any of his words, to the point where like she looks at him like, what are you even saying?
Yeah.
I thought you were in it.
No, I was gonna pass it over to you. No,
you want me to?
Yeah, go for it. Go for it, bro.
Okay.
You are such good interviewers.
Yeah, dude.
Hey.
We're so used to it. Yeah. Yeah.
I like this new canon. I feel like the Scrappy Doo right now. Oh, let's go get him, Uncle Braydan.
Yeah. We're gonna. Okay. I did have a question, but now all the shenanigans has made me.
I can ask my question. I do have a question. I can ask it.
Oh, okay, go for it. It's gonna come back to me.
Yeah. Maybe. Would you guys say that comedy is like your favorite genre to work in, or is this your norm, or are you typically, you guys more like drama or thriller or something else?
For me, mostly, yeah. It's the one where I feel like the most comfortable with most of the time, and it feels a bit easier. Not necessarily because writing comedy is easier. It's usually harder because writing a joke that is funny is harder. But the fact that it is usually funny in the end makes all that time writing the joke more worth it, in my opinion.
Okay.
I agree with that. As someone who makes sketches on YouTube, like comedy is so subjective, which is why I like to diversify it. You know, one sketch will do one thing, and then another will do another thing that's funny, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I like comedy. I think a good comedy goes a long way. Is it my favorite? I can't say it is. And the reason why is because, and I could get shit for this all I want, but I think it counts as a genre, Westerns.
No.
I love a
Yeah,
Western.
that's absolutely a genre.
That is-
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
dude, you could put any Western in front of me, and I will have a good time. At the very least, a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. What about the Western? Like, is it the tension in like, or is it just everything in general about it?
First off, I think the Western is just so full of its own motifs.
Mm-hmm.
Like there are certain things that just are uniquely Western.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you can't have a Western without a horse.
Right.
You know, you can't. I've been listening to your podcast. I haven't listened to the most recent episode, but there better be a horse. I've been noticing there's a lack of horses.
They call.
Oh no, dude.
Just write in a horse in the background in some scene.
Oh yeah, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Fulfill the horse somehow.
We're kind of doing.
Camera.
We're almost subverting that genre though, because we're doing like a Transylvania Western. So we're doing something very, very different, but with certain Western elements. So, but yeah,
Fair enough.
we probably do need a horse in there. So at least
Okay, yeah, we probably do need a horse.
At least a talking one.
Talking.
Yeah,
A talking horse. That honestly, talking horse doesn't sound. No talking horses.
I had thought about like
Get a centaur.
A centaur in a Western. That I don't know if that's been done before.
dude, a centaur. That actually could
Get a
be
centaur with a cowboy hat and a 6-shooter across his chest, and he could be like,
It's kind of.
He's just
Kind of.
"I ride off
I
into the
can't lie.
sunset."
I can't lie. That's kind of bad.
that's so
Howdy, little
great.
lady.
Oh my
The swamp
god.
man at the end might have to be a centaur. I gotta be honest, Cole.
That's technically your baby to do whatever you want with. I've said that before. So if that's what you want to do, that's gonna be a long staff though, because he's supposed to be a wizard guy.
Well, no, he doesn't have to have a staff. It's just the precursor was that his 6-piece revolver shot like spells. That was his thing.
Ooh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And so he could be like half monster. That would maybe explain how he's able to heal Jeunet at the end. Okay, I might
You
have
can
to
have
think
him
about
have,
that.
like,
That's kind of
have him a bandolier, and like each one is a different spell.
exactly.
You just-
That was the absolutely.
Yes.
Okay, Ben as the certified like Western guy, the Western genre fan, and we are currently writing like a Western horror, Western action kind of deal.
Mhm.
What would it be like as an audience who knows all the genre expectations? What would you want to see out of this? Out of something that's subversive, but also wants to like pay like homage to some of these staples.
Subversive, but homage. Well, separate from the horse thing.
Separate from the horse thing.
I think that a lot of what Westerns are about the people that they travel with. Usually, even if they're like a lone gunman, they will meet someone, and that person will have some kind of effect on them. So even if they're alone, the person that they next meet will have some kind of effect on them. And it's very much a reoccurring thing. You look at films like the Dollars trilogies, or you look at My Name is Nobody, or even The Magnificent Seven, and you just see that these interconnected friendships almost are just everywhere. They don't even have to know their name, and they still see them as some kind of equal.
So yeah.
On top of all that, I think one thing that is subversive but still very homagey is you have to have a prison. Some kind of prison. Yeah,
Okay.
some kind of prison, some kind of jail. You know? You got Yuma. You got Tarantula. You know, you have all these places where they would always send the bad guys.
Very true.
You gotta have the jail.
We have to have the jail.
Mhm.
Okay. I think we could play with that.
I've got a great idea for that too.
My brain's clicking.
Well,
already.
I
Okay.
keep wanting to, like, we have so much action in there. I keep wanting to add scary, and if we have a jail in there,
Yeah, I want to add scary. Yeah.
so much scary
Yeah.
opportunity.
Okay. We'll maybe have.
You're welcome.
I guess, especially if
Thank
there's
you.
supernatural elements in your movie,
Oh, yeah.
you could have like these supernatural characters locked up
Mhm.
and have like the very
Yeah.
like spooky scene in the jail.
Yes,
There's got to be like an Arkham at the Monster Hunting HQ where they lock up some of these monsters.
Mhm. And maybe
That
there's
could
like
be kind of cool.
some like almost insane asylum-y kind of supernatural
Yeah,
people,
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
too. That could be fun.
Yeah. That'd be fun.
Tiny Mite releases
Tiny Mite.
October
24th.
24th. Sorry, yes, I knew that. I
24th.
was making sure you knew that.
Oh yeah. We have to make sure test
So-
them on their knowledge.
You know, give it's a tiny. The YouTube channel is Tiny Mite.
I think it's either Tiny Mite or Real Tiny Mite, and the Instagram page is Real Tiny Mite, and we're
Okay.
posting updates there as well.
We're gonna put
So-
the descriptions
Yep.
for
Yeah.
both
Links
of
in the
those
description and
below.
please give those a follow. Check them out. Leave some likes, comments. Comment. I love this superhero. You know, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Tell them
And
that you came from the writers' room and that you loved hearing about all the behind the scenes stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
Before watching the movie, which is going to be an interesting thing, because like then you're going to be watching the movie like, oh, I know how this was made because I heard that before I watched this.
Yeah. And we'll also link the film when it comes out in our description, just in case,
Yeah,
for whatever
absolutely.
reason. I don't know how you could have a hard time finding it. We got all these resources, but you know, just in case.
Just in case.
But
We'll
we
make sure y'all
are
set up.
going to wrap it up here. But before we
I
do,
think we gotta do our typical question before we say goodbye.
yep, they ask it at every film fest in Savannah. They
No.
they do.
Do they ask it at every
yes,
film fest?
at the end of every interview,
That's
they're
true.
like, "What would
That is
you
true.
say to a fellow up-and-coming filmmaker, maybe film student? You know, give some advice here."
What kind of wisdom do you have to part?
I guess for me, from like one of the core things I learned about making Tiny Mite is that even if you have a very crazy idea for a short, and especially if it defies like the norms of what a student film can be, you can still do it. It can be done, and it can be one of the best things that you can probably do for your student film.
Awesome.
I agree with that. I think for me though, and this just applies to everything in my opinion, never be the smartest person in the room. Always find and strive to find people who are smarter than you, because they're going to make whatever you're doing better.
Absolutely.
I agree with
So
that.
you're welcome, Cole. You're welcome, Cole.
Yeah. No, I mean that is the canon on this show. Is I am kind of just the idiot. That's me.
Oh
No.
no, not all the time. Not all the time. I want to say before we wrap up, I have one big request. Jerónimo, could I ask for Tiny Mite to do all the YouTube plug stuff and ask can Tiny Mite say to like and subscribe and leave a comment on the video?
Like with the mask.
Yes.
Okay, just give me a second to put it on.
Yes, with the mask.
Oh my gosh. What a fun time.
It's a bit tricky because there's a headband inside so that the antenna can hold its structure.
Braydan, no copyrighted
Okay,
music.
As I'm putting it on, like, you want me to say like the like and subscribe type deal?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, all of it. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiny Mite!
Wait, that's too soon.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you very
yeah,
much.
Braydan.
Hold on.
All right, yeah.
Braydan announcing take 2.
I forgot we don't say ladies and gentlemen. We say people and other people on the show. That's my bad.
Ladies and non-binary.
That's pretty good too.
Oh. That took a second for me
Okay.
for it to click.
All right, you ready?
Okay.
Okay. People and other
Here we
people.
go.
Tonight.
Well, you know, guys, you know what's what? Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and watch every other episode of the Writers Room. Just a little.
Oh my god! Thank you, Tiny Mite. Oh my god! I'm getting chills here. Oh my god! Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And just a little, huh? Yeah. Bye, everybody.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Woo!